So let's talk about day one CPT programs first. Now, to be clear, CPT is an amazing opportunity. It's something that gives you real world experience. You can build your network. It's really great if you can get into a school that will enable this. However, I will tell you that you might be met with a skeptical visa officer, because the student visa was designed not so that you could work. It was designed so that you could go to school and ultimately graduate and get a degree. And so the visa officer wants to make sure, again, that you're a student, that you're planning predominantly to go to the United States, enroll in class, and that is going to be your primary focus so that you can ultimately pass your classes and graduate. Now, the fact that you can work is great, but if the officer thinks that that's really the only reason you're going to the United States, they're likely to deny your application and advise you that you need to get a work visa, because that's really the reason that you're traveling. So in your interview, focus first and predominantly on your school plans, your education plans. Explain again where you're going to school, what degree you're seeking, why this is important to your future. This is the reason you're getting the visa. Now, you should explain where you will be working, what the CPT experience means, why it's important to you. But I would say that should be maybe 10% of your focus. Your real focus at your interview needs to be on the fact that you are a student and you're going to the United States to study.
Is it okay to express my intention of working with CPT during the visa interview? Should I bring it up?
I think you should. Visa officers generally know which schools offer day one CPT opportunities. And so I think, generally speaking, CPT should be somehow related to what you're studying anyway. So, it probably is part of your opportunity. Again, focus on your education, but I do think you should mention and volunteer your plans here. Last year, and this is a little bit alarming, but last year, over 1 in every 3 student visa applicants was either refused or they were delayed at their visa interview. And for many students, it's, no surprise that if you're delayed more than just a couple of weeks, that might as well be a refusal, because that might mean you missed the start of class, and then you're delaying or deferring your plans by, a semester or maybe even a year. And so, as I mentioned earlier, many of those denials are avoidable. The law is actually a little strange here. The law actually says that a visa officer has to deny an applicant unless the applicant can essentially convince the officer that they deserve the visa. And what does that mean? The officer needs to be pretty sure, pretty convinced that you're going to the United States to enroll in school, to study, to attend class, and ultimately either graduate or complete your program. And then, of course, they need to understand that you have the ability to pay for school. So if you don't volunteer, if you're not proactive and you don't volunteer those details to the officer, you might fit into one of this alarmingly high number. And then focus some time on why you chose that school, why you decided to study that particular topic or obtain that particular degree, and what that means for your future. And this is where that authenticity is super important. Because again, the visa officer wants to understand how you reached this decision to study at this particular school, to focus on this particular topic, and why this is going to make a difference in your career or your life. Maybe you're interested in starting a business, and so you're getting an MBA to give you the knowledge to set up and run a business. Maybe you want to work at a large tech company, and so that computer science degree is going to get you to where you can be competitive for that job. You should talk about these things, because that is the way, students think. And that's what a visa officer wants to understand.